This is Charlie Parsons from Boxing Social in association with William Hill and
someone else.
Empire Fight Store.
Empire Fight Store.
Delighted to be joined here at the weigh-in with Mr. Frank Smith, repping his Dior trainers and little jacket. Looking cool, mate.
No, Dior on the shoes, but Zara throughout, mate. I can take you into Zara. Actually, my missus can. She can make you look like a Zara model if you want.
I would like that. I would like that very much. Thank you very much.
You can buy the whole shop. You spend about 800 quid, and you've got about 100 different outfits in Zara for that.
That is very true, Frank. Let's talk about it. We've just had the weigh-in here. Everyone on weight ahead of Saturday night. Cyrus Pattinson against Chris Jenkins. I suppose good little fight to top the bill.
Yeah, look, a real step up for Cyrus. Great atmosphere as well for all the local guys. Cyrus looks in unbelievable shape, but it's a proper step up fight, as I say, for him here. You got Callum French as well, who sold a load of tickets. You got Rob Ismay against Sol Dakers. Rob's got a massive following coming. You've got Pat McCormack. You got Mark Dickinson, Hopi Price on there as well. Maisie Rose. Stacked card top to bottom, so it's a massive night and looking forward to a great atmosphere for a great NextGen show.
Frank, obviously yesterday we went through everything with DAZN On Sky, etc. Just a few things that have been picked up on it. It can only be seen for people on the 1999 thing, which is the monthly payment flex plan. But the thing is, they have to have had it. I feel like, as far as I'm aware, if I had that thing right now, I wouldn't be allowed to have it on Sky, etc. Are there still things that need to be sorted out on DAZN's side to make sure that everyone who has got this subscription will be able to have it on their TV?
I think they're working through a few details around the current subscribers. From what I understand, I haven't got the full detail in front of me. I think there's a few details to follow, but I'm sure they'll be working on a lot of things in the background to make it, as easy and flexible for people as they possibly can. So, I'm sure more will follow on that.
Just out of curiosity, why? Obviously there's 3 payment plans for DAZN. Why is it that only the one payment plan at $19.99 is the one that can be accessible with Sky?
I'll be completely honest with you. Right now, I haven't got enough detail on it. I'm sure I'll follow up with the team early next week. We've had a busy few days, but I'll follow up, move very quickly this whole thing. So we'll get some more info on that, and we'll be able to share some more info soon. I'm sure you'll be able to speak to someone from DAZN as well next week and get some more detail around all of that.
Frank, Canelo-Ryder, we had the press conference in San Diego last night, or yesterday, whatever time zone you're viewing from. Very, very exciting, I suppose, for us more so on British shores because John Ryder. Just firstly, a little bit of criticism. I've seen Eddie react to it last night, but Oscar De La Hoya saying that Canelo needs to be fighting better opposition.
Yeah, I don't really take too much notice of what Oscar De La Hoya has to say. He's probably a bit bitter that Canelo hasn't worked with Golden Boy for a while as well, but he says one thing and then says something about he's fighting people too hard like Bivak, so which one is it? John Ryder has worked his way through into that mandatory position, won the WBO interim fight, beat Danny Jacobs earlier this year, beat Zach Parker, in a great fight where people didn't think people had Zach Parker as a favourite. He's done everything he deserves to be there, so it's I don't really pay too much attention to it, to be honest.
Of course, it's not a mega fight, but it does give the opportunity for Canelo to get out a stadium mountain in his home, Guadalajara. How excited are you to be able to provide that for Canelo? I imagine something when the team signed him, he sat down and said, look, I want to be able to have this homecoming.
Yeah, no, it's always been important to him. He's always wanted to fight all over the place, but Guadalajara, I'm sure, has always been an important place for him where he wants to go back to and deliver a huge event. 50,000 people at the Akron Stadium is going to be something quite special. So, that was great to see. And look, it's a massive fight. Any fight that involves Canelo Alvarez is a massive fight. And as I say, in John Ryder there, you've got a real reputable opponent who deserves to be in there. It's not an easy fight for John Ryder, is it? He's going in there, he's going to Mexico to challenge the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. He's doing what a lot of people wouldn't do. But John Ryder, has always shown a lot of heart, and I'm sure he'll be fully prepared for that fight. He's been waiting for it for a long, long time. And yeah, great to, as you say, be doing a show that's going to create such a historic night for long to live on.
Mauricio Lara has been given a deadline on a sort of a mandatory opponent. He is allowed a voluntary, but it's got to be finalised in a certain amount of time. I suppose a couple of things I'll put into one then. Will Wood take it? If Wood doesn't, do you make the Warrington fight? Do you go straight into the mandatory? And I suppose then also if Warrington does take it, then I suppose Wood's going to have to wait at least 2 fights for his rematch, providing Lara wins both.
Look, there's a lot of discussions ongoing between all the relevant parties right now. As you mentioned, it's been approved to take another fight in the interim. But yeah, we're working through all that now. Lee Wood's actually coming here tomorrow. You know, Josh Warrington was at the show the other week. There's lots of talking points ongoing. Hope to have some news on that very soon. For a date in May.
Anthony Joshua, I know we spoke a little bit about him yesterday. Is there any more you can tell us in terms of just training camp, etc., preparations? But a lot of people sort of seeming to think that he looks a bit bulkier. Some people saying leaner. We'll never know in just the photos. But any ideas or things that you can share with us from his side of camp?
I just know he's been training, extremely hard. It's a new training camp for him. It's a new way of training. You know, he's over there in Dallas with Derek James and all of the great fighters he has there in his camp. And I think it's been beneficial for him to go away from what he knows and do something new. I think you're going to see an AJ in the best shape he's been in a long time. One thing about AJ, he's always trained very hard, but I think this change and this move will be a big difference for him. And it's, not unsettling going somewhere new, but it sort of takes you out of your comfort zone, doesn't it? So, he's done that because he believes he's still got a lot left to offer in the sport. I think we're going to see a great AJ performance come April 1st.
April 29, Dalton Smith, that was the provisional date. Obviously, we know that he had a cut in his last fight. How far back is this likely to be pushed now? We also know that Harper Brackhouse was due on that card. Now that goes on the Taylor Cameron card instead. I know, obviously, you're going to have a busy schedule and it's sort of finding those slots. When will Dalton get his headline?
We've moved a lot of the undercard fighters around so to make sure they've all got their slots relatively soon around where that show was supposed to be. I think that show is going to fall in or around June time. It could fall into July, but he stayed active. He had the fight in February, he boxed in November just before that. So it's not too much of a delay. Look, it's not ideal. We would love to have gone and headlined him in that Sam Maxwell fight there, and then April 29th we had it all ready to go. But we're working through the detail now, and news on that soon. But it won't be too long around the corner.
Fury Usyk, do you believe it happens? 6 weeks to promote the undisputed world title clash at the first 4-belt heavyweight championship?
I don't want to sound negative, but the longer it goes on every day makes me feel less likely it's going to happen. So, but again, same thing every time. I hope it does. Nothing to do with us, obviously, but I hope they can make it happen.
Just got my calendar up here. Obviously, Canelo's going Cinco de Mayo. Do you have anything for May 13 and also June 10? They were some rumoured dates I heard Matchroom may be going. One of them in London, I believe?
Working on the other show in May. I think the other show may fall May 27th. That we're going to do. So, back to back on the Katie Taylor show. Obviously, June 3rd, we're working through this Abu Dhabi stuff now. June 10th, looking at a show in London that we're just finalising the details of now. Then 2 US shows back to back in June after that. So it's going to be a busy few months, with non-stop shows nearly every week. And the unrivaled best schedule in boxing.
All right, Frank, top man, thank you very much for your time. See you later on.
All right. Parsons, is that Gucci times Palm Angels?
No, but it's just a little Gucci colourway job.
See you later.